AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud.
Our bud's in court today with RJ Lewis. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Mute. So. And Mr. Toby Time Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Now we bring aboard Ross Jackson.
Pivot!
Yo, dude, what up?
Hey, man. Oh, gosh. Glad to be back. Glad to be back home. Sad to not be in California anymore. Yep. Thanks for having me.
I'm sad you're not. Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm sad you're not there because I can't make Californians references.
That's exactly it. I was so ready to make another one, and I was like, oh, no, but really, it would be disingenuous now.
What are you doing here? Why'd you hop on the 101 and get out of here?
Get out of here. Oh, so good.
Skip all the exits and get out of here. Okay. That was gratuitous, but okay.
It's fine.
Saints lose very badly, and now they've made more injuries, and they've made some roster changes. Let's start there. Let's start with the trade. So they've traded Deion Jones for Zamir White. Make this make sense.
Yeah, I think on the Deion Jones side of it, really exciting story. Guy from New Orleans being able to come back to play for the New Orleans Saints and all. But the writing was on the wall that at best he was going to end up with a practice squad spot, one of the veteran practice squad spots. There's only 6 of those allowed out of the 16 that they can get. They technically get 17 if they were to have Charlie Smyth over on the practice squad too, but 16 in total. And so it seemed like it made sense to move him if there was another team that was interested. They found a team that was interested in San Francisco and were able to bring back a running back there. And then I think today we learned about the Ty Chandler injury, which is a knee injury. He's expected to miss extended time. We'll learn what that extended time means over time. And so now you kind of see, oh, okay, I bet that caused this, right? The Ty Chandler injury creates a situation to where they want to go and get another running back because Alvin Kamara's hurt, Ty Chandler's hurt, Evan Neal's hurt. They only just got Kendra. Audric Estime only just came back today. And so now they bring in Zamir White, who ends up kind of helping them out over on the running back side, at least in terms of having the numbers that they need to get to the rest of the offseason.
Okay. Do we think Zamir White will make this team and be on the roster against Detroit Week 1?
I don't know. I don't think it'd be hard for me to project that right now and say yes. And so it's easier for me to project it and say no. But I do think that, look, he's a talented player. He is familiar with the scheme and the style, both from college and from his years in Vegas and the little bit of time that he spent in San Francisco as well. And so I do think there's a natural fit for him from a system perspective and a scheme perspective. And so there's certainly an opportunity for him. And while this running back room remains beat up, there will be opportunities for him. But just from playing the numbers game and just understanding just the raw numbers of all this, if the Saints walk in with Travis Etienne Jr., Alvin Kamara, knowing that he is injured right now but could be back early in the season, probably might not be a player that needs the IR appointment. And so you would carry him on the active roster. Kendre Miller, if he makes it through the rest of the offseason healthy. It sounds like Devin Neal's going to be out for a while. It sounds like Ty Chandler's going to be out for a while. And Audric Estime has been really good. Those are probably your 4 running backs. And so Zamir White just ends up, from a numbers perspective, being on the outside looking in, but then maybe being able to find a role in the practice squad, which is likely where Ty Chandler might have ended up as well, and then just being elevated to help on the special team side of things. I think that's probably the more likely and projectable path for Zamir, but certainly a guy that, has a chance to come in and make them think otherwise.
Okay, so with Ty Chandler's knee injury, which I'm just reading the reports, it sounds like it's really serious. And he had an 86-yard kickoff return in the preseason opener. Mm-hmm. Does that absence open up a spot for someone else to return kicks?
Yeah, I think it does. And look, the other guy that's expected to, Kellen Moore said time lost when he was talking about safety Lorenzo Styles Jr., who, of course, had, I think it was Ohio State's first kick return in double-digit years or something like that for a touchdown last year. He was a guy that would have been considered there, but if he's going to be out for an extended amount of time as well, then I think that puts other guys into the conversation, like Kendre Miller, C.J. Donaldson, even Audric Estime has been kind of returning kicks and also serves as a blocker. You kind of want one of those hybrid guys there. Jaden Price has been another player. And then, of course, the group of wide receivers, including Barryon Brown, who we expect to be the top guy there. And we kind of were expecting it to be Barryon Brown and Ty Chandler. But now guys like Bryce Lance, as well as potentially Trey Palmer and others could kind of fight for that spot as well. So that now opens up that conversation next to what I assume will be Barryon Brown, for who's going to be that other kick returner for sure.
Okay, so he's at Ross Jackson Nola, Locked On Saints, and of course you can read him at LouisianaSports.net. Let's pivot and talk. Let's pivot.
Nice. Excellent.
Hang on.
Pivot.
Let's pivot and talk about Daniel Carlson. So all of a sudden, the Saints place kickers, they stink completely, and now they've signed Daniel Carlson to try to find someone who can make a kick. Okay, what should we make of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not too terribly far from the way that you explain it, right? Like the kicker battle's been underwhelming, and both kickers have been underwhelming, and that's just the truth of it. I mean, look at the numbers, right, in terms of both of these guys. One of them is, I think it's 35 of 41. The other is 35 of 44. Neither of those are going to bring those percentages home in terms of what it is that you're really looking for from that kicking position. And so you bring in another guy, and you bring in a veteran, a guy that's a 2-time All-Pro, second team All-Pro in 2021, I believe it was, and then first team All-Pro in 2022, the year after. And so, I mean, this is a guy that comes in with that. Now, he comes in also on an 86% kick field goal conversion rate over the course of his career, 81% last year. You'd probably like to see those numbers a little bit higher. His misses, he had 5 misses last year. 2 came from the 40-yard range. 3 came from the 50-yard range. And so, you're still going to have a competition here, and they still believe very strongly in Charlie Smyth. But I think you bring in a veteran kicker, just like they brought in Kai Kroger late. They carried 3 punters for about a week last year. I think you're going to see them carry 3 kickers for about a week. Kellen Moore said today that he is expecting the plan to be to bring 3 kickers to Dallas. And so with that being the case, I think this is the week right here to where you got to figure out who that kicker is going to be with roster cuts on Sunday. And so I think Carlson comes in as a guy that very much presents a challenge for these other 2 young guys. And whether it's that he provides that challenge to such an extent that the Saints feel most comfortable with him, or those other guys rise to the occasion because of the challenge, we'll see. But this is a very real now 3-way battle for the Saints kicker position going into the season. Okay,
one more. The injuries continue to persist. It's almost absurd at this point. With this new wave, what do you think is the most significant?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the guys that impact your starting lineup. Like, let's just be real, right? Like, there's some people right now. Like, we went to practice today, and I counted 21 players that were either sidelined or not on the field.
Okay,
that's on your 90-man roster. That's a lot of people. And so, but to be real about it, like a lot of those players, or a good portion of those players, probably aren't probably in line to make your 53-man roster either. But so because of that, I think you got to look at the guys that do impact that. Alvin Kamara, Quincy Riley, Cam Jordan, like the Jordan Tyson, like the guy, Cesar Ruiz, who was out today. I mean, there are these players that are week 1 starters that you want to be out on the football field that may not be available for week one. We know that when it comes to Jordan Tyson, we're not super sure when it comes to guys like Cam Jordan as well as Alvin Kamara. And I think like it would be disingenuous to try to pass off the impact on that. Like that has impact for this team, that they're going to walk into the season with some players unavailable that could otherwise contribute to them. And so you'd like to see that list come down. You'd like to see guys like Quincy Riley, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara get back to the lineup before week one. But if they're not there, that has an impact on this team. And I think that this is something that this team's got to get figured out as well, because it's not like the injury news around them is any quieter or any or anything new versus what they've experienced over the course of the past few years. And so something's got to break eventually, and ideally it's one that breaks in their favor in getting these players back and being able to keep them on the field.
I hate this preseason.
It's tough.
It's awful.
It's been a tough one.
Are you going to go to Javier's in Dallas?
I can. I don't know what Javier's is.
Oh.
Am I ashamed of that? Should I be ashamed of that?
No, not ashamed.
Okay. Just ill-informed. You
know what? Actually, knowing your dietary restrictions, Javier's may not be the best choice.
Yeah, there's a diner down there that caters to my dietary restrictions.
Okay.
I'll probably go to that.
Okay.
Some diner food.
I'll do some research for you.
Okay.
And we'll see what we can do. Okay.
I love it.
All right. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, buddy. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
Okay. That's Ross Jackson. At Ross Jackson NOLA, where you can get him on Twitter or X. Read him for free at LouisianaSports.net. You can listen or watch Locked On Saints for free. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, say it all the time, just put Volkswagen on your list. Man, they got some great deals right now. Well, they always have great deals over at South Point Volkswagen. When you are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, you have more inventory, which means you can pass along savings and get better deals, like $3,500 customer bonus on a 2026 Atlas, $1,500 customer bonus on 2026 Jetta. Deals galore, the best inventory. Shop them online, new or certified pre-owned. If it's on the lot, it's online. You can search the entire inventory. I'm not talking about stock photos. You'll see actual photos of the actual vehicle right there on Airline Highway just north of Highland. It's South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Now, I don't think Ross would mind me sharing. So, and I just learned this actually when we were at Super Bowl. Ross had a medical situation when he was younger that led to him having to like modify his. He had some type of infection. He told me he had to modify his diet. So there's some things he can't eat. So, anyway, so that's what we were referring to right there. I don't think he would mind me saying that. But great dude, Javier's. You been to Javier's? Do you ever go to Dallas?
I've been to Dallas one time, man. That's it. Yeah, just one time. It was I liked Dallas. It was cool.
Javier's is great.
Steakhouse or what we got
Mexican.
there? Mexican.
Hot like gourmet Mexican.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah. And actually, so there's a book. Look this up, please. Boys Will Be Boys. I think it was by Jeff Pearlman. I think Jeff Pearlman wrote it. It was like the party days and glory days and party nights of the Dallas. It was about the 90s Dallas Cowboys. And whenever there's a part of the book where when he's writing about Jerry Jones interviewing Jimmy Johnson, was it Jeff?
Mm-hmm. It was Jeff.
Jeff Pearlman. So there's a part where the reason that story leaked is who was the writer? I don't remember who it was. Whoever's the beat writer for the Cowboys happened to be at Javier's. And Jerry Jones did his interview with Jimmy Johnson at Javier. So he saw him there. He was like, Jerry Johnson's in town. He was the coach of Miami at the time. And so anyway, famous place, great food. There's actually a cigar lounge attached as well. So you could do dinner and then whiskey cigar after. When we were in Dallas for SEC Media Days a couple of years back, 2-3 years ago, whenever that was, Cobble and Bree and I think Deli came with us, Ross Dellinger. And we went over to Javier's, did the cigar lounge thing. Javier's, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Were you going to say something? Mm-mm. Oh, well then don't have your mic by your face with it on.
Well, I didn't know. Like I'm wondering if there's going to be a time to say something, but I didn't have anything.
I'm trying to read your cues there. Got the mic. All right, it's after further review. I'm going to go to break then, Muse. You good?
Yeah, no, please. Right, we're a little late.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I was literally in the top of the hour just sitting there going, man, my energy level's so high today. And one of the things I absolutely attribute that to is NAD+. If you're not familiar, NAD+ is a peptide. It's all about stimulating your mitochondria, your ATP, like natural sources of energy. And it's a simple subcutaneous injection I do every morning. It's a peptide. And peptides aren't medicine. Peptides are they're strands of amino acids that stimulate your body's natural productivity. And so whatever it is, if it's to get energy or clear brain fog, or if it's things like healing response, I've told you about BPC 157. There's so many different peptides. Sometimes it's to calm inflammation, or sometimes it's to calm anxiety. You want to feel and live your best life, Goodwood can help. YourGoodwood.com. Check them out, YourGoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
No, I don't. I think this is a totally unique circumstance that came about because of the 5 for 5 and the players feeling like they should have known about it before and that they should have had it, and then all the cases around the country and all the attention on that. And they were granted this. The ones that have won restraining orders or injunctions have been granted this. So I think this is extremely unique situation that, I can't predict the future, but that I don't think you'd have this again.
That's Lane Kiffin meeting with reporters on Monday. He's not wrong. Unless if the NCAA, again, changed the eligibility rule, which they've done now for the 5 for 5, this isn't a thing that would happen in perpetuity, talking about these 2022 guys going from the NFL back to college. But what Lane Kiffin was asked a very pointed question about if it's okay or what he thinks about NFL players if they should go back to college. Now, before I play that, Dan Lanning, very high-profile man in the sport. He's the Oregon coach, and he doesn't mince words. Remember when LSU's job was open, Dan Lanning was asked by Rich Eisen if he would consider the LSU job, and his answer was point blank, I'm not leaving Oregon. As long as I win, I've told my kids, meaning his family, his sons, his children, we're going to be here. And Dan Lanning didn't mince words during media availability over the weekend when he was asked about these NFL guys coming back into college.
I think there's a lot of negatives that are involved around this. One, once you go to the NFL, to me, you're in the NFL. You don't get the opportunity to come back. Two, most of us have built our rosters, and you have a limited roster limit now. So if you invited somebody back to your team, that means you're kicking somebody else off your team, right, to match your roster limits. I don't think that's fair to the players that worked all summer, all spring, and put themselves in position to be ready to work for a team, to have somebody come back. But ultimately, it used to be once you had an agent, or once you went and did the combine, or once you went to all those things qualified as you are no longer an amateur, you're a professional now. Once you declare for the draft. So to let any of those players come back, fair or unfair to them, it's unfair to the sport.
It's an interesting way to put it, and there's multiple ways to look at it. I don't disagree with Dan Lanning. These are players that have put on an NFL uniform. They signed an NFL contract. They're in the NFL. That is a fact. It is also true that those players, under the new NCAA eligibility rules, have another year of eligibility. So you have a conflicting set of circumstances where under new eligibility rules, they have another year. Under NCAA rules, because they signed a pro contract, they're ineligible. However, they didn't have the opportunity when they finished their last season to stay. And so the argument is, look, had we known, we wouldn't have left. And that's kind of what Lane Kiffin keeps harping on. The optics are undeniably awful. Like, you look at the little graphic where it's like Ole Miss to the Eagles to the Browns to LSU. Like, that looks awful. And it's not just LSU. Trent Hendrick was the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year at James Madison. He went to the Cleveland Browns, got cut, and is now going to UCLA. I mean, we can go down the list of players that this is happening for. Like TJ Harden, the running back. Like, he was in camp he was at SMU. He was in camp with the Seattle Seahawks. And my information earlier today is that TJ Harden is a heavy lean to Missouri. So again, it's not just LSU. It's happening all over the country. And from Dan Lanning's perspective, I kind of look and I go, man, you plant that flag that hard and fast against it, you can't go back. And maybe he has no plans to, but again, this is also a one-off. Like, if his roster's set, that's the other part of it too, is like, you are going to take somebody's roster spot. Like, you keep adding these guys, someone who's on your team is getting cut. Because it's like, certainly teams could have been under the number, right? There's a cap with the new, with the House settlement a year ago, there's a roster cap, and teams could have chosen not to offer scholarships to fill their roster and maybe save a spot or two, but it's unlikely with the number of players. Like, you're going to see guys cut. But this is what that was Lanning's point. And I wanted to play that to illustrate the contrast with two very high-profile coaches who have a different way of approaching this. Dan Lanning, like, planted the flag in the ground, whether they had the eligibility or not. They played in the NFL. It's over. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, and I kind of do too. But I've said I have like a shred of sympathy for these players because they actually kind of got screwed out of their final year. And that's kind of where Lane Kiffin falls on it.
I think that situations are different. You know, in general, should NFL players come back to college? That answer would be no. I think every circumstance should be looked at differently. This is a very unique circumstance, again, because I think there's not a lot of education on this, how this all happened. The judge found that these players should have been told and should have known that they were going to be eligible for a fifth year, which every player moving forward, every athlete moving forward in all sports has. And so they should have known that in December when they were making decisions. Had they known that, they would have stayed. They had no eligibility. So this is not many other circumstances that have been discussed over the years about professionals coming back. They did not know they had a year. Since then, the judges said, you do have a year. And so because of that, this is a different situation in that where they're just going back to play the year that they've been granted. Not an individual case where one player went somewhere to try to win a case. This is a lot of athletes in these, and a lot of these around the country that, from my information, isn't stopping. You know, that there are cases right now that are going to come out where there's other athletes in the same cases. And so you may end up having hundreds of athletes in this case that are told they have a fifth year. And so this is just a really unique circumstance that isn't a traditional, just pros going back to college, just because they win a case.
For example, R.J. Lewis, who literally, and I'm checking with folks that is literally in a Baton Rouge court right now trying to get an injunction to be eligible for Will Wade's basketball team. I am adamantly opposed to R.J. Lewis playing basketball at LSU. He played for UMass for a season. He transferred to St. John's where he played 2 years, and then he went pro and went undrafted, signed a two-way contract, and now is trying to get back into college basketball. No. You left. You left. You had eligibility remaining. You went pro. And it didn't work out. Now you're trying to come back. I'm never going to be okay with that. R.J. Lewis should not play at LSU. And LSU leadership should stop him from trying to do so. But they're not. They're going to let Will Wade go try to build his roster however he wants. I think that is unethical. I'm not okay with that. I am not okay with that. And people are going to say, well, they're going to go play for someone else. Okay. I'm not okay with it. And I'm 87% not okay with these NFL guys coming back. But there's that little smidge where I go, I am sympathetic because they would have never left. A lot of these guys would have never left. They would have stayed in college had they had their opportunity, which they legally have. So there is, even if ever so slightly, an area of gray. And Lane Kiffin's choosing, and he's not alone. We talked about Eli Drinkwitz, talked about Bob Chesney out at UCLA. I mean, Steve Sarkisian's bringing back an offensive lineman who was in camp with the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of high-profile coaches that fall in line with Lane Kiffin's line of thinking here. So wherever you fall, I'm not here to tell you you're right or wrong, wherever you fall on this. How you feel is how you feel, because there isn't a right or wrong. But for now, anyway, what LSU is doing, and Texas and UCLA and Missouri and Indiana and all these other places, is within the rules. Like, the players have a year of eligibility. They've got an injunction to be eligible. So they're going to play. As gross as the optics may be. And it's also a one-off. Like, it's not, just in principle, it's not that dissimilar from a player getting the COVID year and a medical and playing 7 years of college football, like Tyler Shuck. It's a weird circumstance. So I'll be very excited a week from Saturday when we can actually talk about LSU Clemson, like the football game, and we're getting really close to that. And the Tigers are trending on that way. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You know, we keep talking about how deer season's right around the bend. A lot of people are putting out those deer plots right now. Of course you are. But what if you're hunting on a lease on someone else's property, and next year you never want to do that again? You never want to pass on the trophy buck, because can you really take down the trophy buck on someone else's property? Well, if you want it to be your property and you never have to worry about that again, First South Farm Credit can help you buy land. That hunting property, that recreational property, maybe it's farmland if you need 1,000 acres. Maybe you want 50 acres to build your family's dream home. Maybe you and your parents, siblings, whatever, all want to own, homes on a big piece of property where you have your own home, your own privacy, but you all live near each other. First South Farm Credit can help make that happen. Go to FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Okay, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. As the Tigers are getting ready for kickoff a week from Saturday, we do have a preseason bowl roundup. What a bunch of prognosticators think LSU their postseason is going to end. We did do a over at LouisianaSports.net. Hunt finally backed us into a corner and made us all do a station survey where we picked the projected LSU win-loss record. I'll tell you what I landed on and why I hope I'm dead wrong. We'll get to that here as we continue. Stick around. It's AFR.
After further review.
I love having the opportunity that I've had for more than a decade now to tell you every single day about Darren James. And that was reinforced for me here this past weekend. Had a friend, their couple, they're selling their home. They had a realtor. Darren gave them some advice, spent 2 hours with this family, even though they already had a realtor, to help them price their home properly and some different things, just because, knowing they already have a realtor, just because it's the right thing to do. Push comes to shove, this family ultimately decides they actually want to go with Darren instead. So they switch, but Darren says, hey, I'm going to co-list with the agent you had before, so the legwork that person's already done isn't for naught, and we'll split the commission. He's just as great and ethical a human as you'd ever want to meet. He's hardworking, and he's awesome at what he does. If you want to sell your home and have the best experience, no choice. You want Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
All right, well, there's a bunch of publications that are putting out there like preseason bowl and college football roundup. You have some college football theme music over there?
I do. Hold tight.
Okay, we'll hold while we get some college football theme music from Muse. Oh, also, Shay's going to be with us tomorrow. I talked to Shay earlier today at the press conference. Shay will be here tomorrow, and he did figure out his audio issue, so that's great to know. And we talked earlier today about Jalen Brewster. So Jalen Brewster, 5-star, number one defensive lineman in the country, number one player in the country, transferred from his school in Texas, Cedar Hill, I think, to Buford, and is going to make what?
The rich get richer at Buford. I mean, good Lord, dude.
Well, Shay told me Georgia has high school NIL, Texas doesn't. So went to Georgia so he can make high school NIL.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So better be a good deal at Buford. You know what I mean? Anyway, but Brewster's going to make his decision this week on his YouTube channel. And I think there's a couple ways people have looked at it. Like, well, if he was solidly committed to Texas Tech, why wouldn't he just announce he's shutting down his recruitment? But there's others who think that he is picking Texas Tech. My thought is that makes a ton of sense. Like, you have a YouTube channel. You have something that people are going to watch. You have an opportunity to drive a ton of attention and eyeballs to your YouTube channel, which is a platform you own. It's very opportunistic and entrepreneurial. So good for him. I still think he's going to stay with Texas Tech. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he flips, but we'll ask Shay that tomorrow when he's with us. Okay, you got some college football music? Hit it. Let's go. You didn't go with the Sun Bowl theme?
I don't know the Sun Bowl theme.
The Big Ten on CBS theme?
I didn't know they had that. I didn't know the Big Ten had
the
a
Army-Navy theme?
No. Is that the national anthem?
No.
Huh?
The theme that they play for the game on CBS.
I didn't know CBS broadcast games anymore after they left the SEC.
Oh, they broadcast plenty even when they had the SEC broadcast.
Oh, okay.
And they used the same theme, like the one they used for the Sun Bowl, and now the Big Ten on CBS and Army-Navy. And the same theme, by the way, on the CBS College Sports Network, the crap games that no one could watch on channel 876 and you couldn't find.
Air Force versus Nevada.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a hell of a good time, especially when Chris Ault was at Nevada and they were running the pistol.
Hey, you can bet on it. So, I mean, go for it.
I'm in. Mark Schlabaugh's got LSU the 10 seed in the CFP.
How you doing, Mark?
That no good son of a bugger, Kyle Bonagura, has LSU in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Michigan.
What?
People just keep projecting that LSU-Michigan matchup.
They want it so bad. Bryce Underwood, LSU, they want it so bad.
I love it. Brad Crawford, our guy over at CBS and 24/7, has LSU in the playoff as the 9 seed.
Oh, yeah.
Brad.
Balling over.
Yeah. Brett McMurphy on 3. Music City Bowl against Minnesota.
That's I don't think I'd watch that. I'm going to be brutally honest. No, I don't think I would.
Yeah, you would. You just told me you would watch Air Force in Nevada.
No, I said you could bet on it. I never said I would.
You could bet on this?
Yeah, I don't bet on LSU.
You would. You'd watch it. Music City Bowl. Why they keep projecting? Why? Especially, like, this was one of those things, and God bless Brett McMurphy. I'm sure he's a great guy. He's been on the show. I've met him a few times. I can't say I know him well, but, like, he seems like a good guy. There's such a lack of understanding of how bowl placement happens. Like, there's a reason LSU is in the Texas Bowl back-to-back years. It's about proximity and trying to sell tickets and creating matchups. They're never sending LSU, I shouldn't say never, but to Nashville. Like, it's a proximity thing where, like, Kentucky or Tennessee or, like, someone from over at South Carolina, someone over there is going to go to Nashville. Not LSU. They're going to go to Texas or to Jacksonville or to Tampa or, like, or you make the playoff, which would be better. Pete Futak, number 11 seed in the CFP.
Pete gets it.
I bet Pete.
Friend of the show.
Smart guy. Joel Klatt, Fox Sports, Pac-12 homer. Excuse me.
Pac-12 homer?
Big Ten homer. Former Pac-12 homer. New Big Ten homer, Joel Klatt. LSU, 10 seed in the CFP. Let's see. We'll go around the room because Hunt backed us all into a corner and made us make our season-long predictions. It's up over at LouisianaSports.net if you want to check it out. People have been asking me forever and ever and ever, and I was actually waiting. I was going to hold off until next week. But then even Saturday morning, Hunt's texting me. He's like, hey, man, I need your prediction for the station survey. I'm like, you can kick rocks, loser. I don't want to do it. I run the website. I'm the program director of the station. It's my show. I want to give you my freaking prediction yet. I was like, all right, I'll give it to you. With the right to change my mind. It's interesting. The OTB and the AFR paradigm. Actually, let me rephrase. The OTB and the rest of the station paradigm.
Okay.
Hester 10-2.
Yep.
I think Flynn had him like 15-0 or something.
There we go.
Like that.
I love it, man.
He actually didn't get his in time, but I think he texted me, whatever. Alondra has him 10-2 and in the playoff. Taylor has him 10-2 and in the playoff. Hunt 9-3. Hannah Griff 9-3. Muse
9-3.
Give your explanation.
9-3. Yeah, I've had them there ever since the schedule came out. I think they have some holes on the team still, trenches and whatnot. So I had them splitting A&M and Ole Miss, and then going 2-2 in November.
Paulie?
I also went 9-3. Same as Musa, a couple roster holes and a couple tough games early on. I think I had 9-3.
I picked 9-3 as well, as much as I hate it. So making the CFP is a baseline expectation. You got a $50 million roster, you got tons of expectations, but the schedule is just littered with landmines. I think you split Ole Miss A&M, you split Bama Texas, you're 10-2. The problem is I see Clemson, and I see a road game at Auburn, and I see a road game at Tennessee, and I see a really icky spot at Kentucky as well that no one wants to talk about, but that one just kind of creeps me out because LSU rarely plays well in Lexington. It's never been easy up there. And Will Stein did a sneaky good job in the portal this year, and he always has good offenses. And Kentucky beat Ole Miss in Oxford 2 years ago.
They gave Lane a lot of problems.
They did.
Different
coach,
man.
different coach. So different style, different stylistically with Mark Stoops and what Will Stein's doing. It's rarely, if ever, been easy in Lexington for LSU. So I just look at it, go somewhere along the way, you're just gonna like jam your big toe against the wall. You know, you're walking around in the dark at night and you ram your knee into the end of the bed.
Man.
It's just one of those that just, it's unnecessary, but it's so painful when it happens. I think one of those happens this year. So, I got them 9-3, which would just suck. Because if you're 9-3, then you're probably like in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Michigan.
Oh, man, people would rejoice. They want it. They want it so bad.
Everybody would opt out. Nobody plays in these games.
Yeah, but Bryce Underwood would play, Matt.
I bet you wouldn't.
You don't think, even with another year of eligibility?
We're brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. My name, M-A-T-T, HancockWhitney.com/Matt. Check it out. Man, so fired up. Football season's just about here. A lot of people are going to be hitting the road. You know, when you look at Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, man, they got over 200 Hancock Whitney ATMs. About 180 full-service financial centers. Find yours at Hancock Whitney, the official banking partner of the LSU Tigers, the official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints. Hancock Whitney supports the teams that you and I love. Why wouldn't you bank with Hancock Whitney? HancockWhitney.com/Matt. My name, M-A-T-T, HancockWhitney.com/Matt. How you can learn more about opening checking, savings account, all the different financial service products that they offer. I love the app as well. I told you, man, I've been a Hancock Whitney Bank customer literally for as long as I've had a checking account. Of course, they merged years ago, so before then I had just one of them. But anyway, they merged. I've been Hancock Whitney since. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. HancockWhitney.com/MATT. Okay. Otter locks are live at LouisianaSports.net. I already placed my bets, so I didn't get burned with some already in progress games. So I already made the bets. You can get them live always over at LouisianaSports.net. We'll knock out our final break of the show. Jimmy will be here for Otter locks. When we come back, stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
REV. RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com. Rev, the official internet service provider of LSU Athletics and the official internet service provider of Casa de Scone. Go to our house. We are Rev customers. REV, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. They laid fiber in our neighborhood several months back. As soon as they did, boom, we switched like literally the next day. And you know what was cool? It's all local. Local people, local customer service. The service tech was awesome that came to our house. There was a lot we had to undo from the previous service provider. We switched everything. Our internet, our home automation, cable, phone. Yes, we still have a landline because Erica just requires us to have a landline. I don't know why it's silly, but we do. But if you want one, Rev can do that for you as well. RevFiber.com, R-E-V, RevFiber.com. Backed by 90 years of local experience in all fiber network, lightning fast internet speeds, and the official internet service provider of LSU Athletics. RevFiber.com. I want to invite you to go visit their shop over at River Parish Contractors in Reserve. The shop's open 24/7. Told you they always have day and night shifts, so they are working around the clock. The shop's open 24/7 for any client. You want to go see the progress of your job or any job, or maybe you're a prospective client and want to go tour their shop. go visit their shop in Reserve. One of the things I love about River Parish Contractors, all their work is between Chalmette and Baton Rouge. So they are within an hour from all of their work, meaning you go work at River Parish Contractors, you are home every night. It's state-of-the-art. They're an hour from everywhere. It's River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. And remember, they can meet your schedule for your job at River Parish Contractors. Because, look, in engineering, you can have great pricing, but you have to meet the schedule. River Parish Contractors is always going to give you an on-time delivery date because they control it, because they fabricate it there at River Parish Contractors in Reserve. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR. As always, big shout out to Brandon and Adrian Holly, all our great friends over at Relief Windows, windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. And now beautiful roller shades. You can always check it out at reliefwindows.com, reliefwindows.com. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Just, man, watching some NFL preseason, looking for the next Tiger.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Go get them. If they're eligible, go get them.
Well, Lane ain't bashful, bro. He's trying to win a title. Bro, he's trying to hang that banner. He's trying to win that natty.
They're all paid to win.
They
one
are.
guy, one coach is not making the most of his career right now.
Dabo?
Bill Belichick.
Oh. Dabo, too.
One coach. They're all coached to win.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't win. If it helps you win, give them to me. Let's get to it. Because I got a little caveat on that tonight. All road favorites here tonight. Tampa Bay -124 against Detroit. Rasmussen against Framber Valdez. Significant pitching advantage for Tampa Bay. Detroit has lost 5 in a row, 8 of their last 9, including their last 2 series against Pittsburgh and Kansas City. Tampa Bay is -124. They're just underway in Detroit. Cubs are playing in Phoenix tonight, -140 on the road at Phoenix against Arizona. Big pitch, man. The local guy, Mr. Kevin Gausman, is pitching for the Cubbies tonight. Merrill Kelly has been getting roughed up for Arizona. Look for the Cubs to do the same tonight, rather. -140 at Arizona. And didn't want to lay the line with Cleveland and Cincinnati, so we put them together in a money line parlay. Chase Burns against Wisenhunt, massive pitching advantage for Cincinnati against San Francisco. And then Parker Messick, the really outstanding rookie for the Cleveland Guardians against Clausen at Anaheim. So +166 is what that's paying. Also, I've got to say this.
Okay.
I like to only play the run lines, visiting teams. I would suggest, and I'm going to play them tonight, to play all of these on the run line -1.5 as well.
Okay.
I did not mention that. I did not mention that on the website.
That's a bummer because the Rays are already up 2-0. The run line's now 2.5. So
yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
oh, well.
maybe next time
It's a
put
good
that
start,
up.
though.
The first day I actually go make all the bets on the website before you come on the show, and then you don't even friggin' give the really juicy play. Whatever.
Well, we add things on sometimes as it gets closer to game time. You know this works.
Whatever. I'm mad at you now.
Oh well, but listen, let's
somehow
don't
you'll
complain
carry
about
on.
winners. Don't complain about winners. So we're off to a winning way. It's certainly not a winner yet, but it's off to a good start in Detroit.
All right, where are you tomorrow?
We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. Mike Delicano will be with it. We got Patrick Everson. We got first, second, no class. Hanny on vacation.
Hanny's on vacation?
Yes.
What's he doing?
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's fall camp. It's game week. It's week 0.
This just in. He puzzles me often as well. So, but anyway.
I mean, I get you taking a month to go to Del Mar. I respect the fact that you do it in July. Your ass is back here when it's football season. Let's go, Hanny. Come on.
Well, he is not making a trip.
Hanny!
He's not making a trip with me and Max to do the shows in Las Vegas on Thursday and Friday. So,
all right.
Yeah, so we got that going as well.
All right, Otter. Well, good luck, and we'll holler at you tomorrow.
All right, good luck.
Thanks, man. It's After Further Review. We are brought to you by Evermore, EVA-MOR. Drink Evermore, natural artesian water. It's 1,000,000 degrees outside. Make sure you stay hydrated. Drink a natural product, a healthier option. And oh, by the way, it's a Louisiana product as well. It's Evermore, EVA-MOR, evermore.com. You can find Evermore at great local retailers. You want to find the retailer nearest you? Simple. Go to evermore.com, click Find a Store, punch in your zip code. It'll tell you the nearest one, or you can always buy online at evermore.com. 20-ounce, 32-ounce, 64-ounce. Buy them individually, in bulk, by the pack. Just buy them. Evermore, EVA-MOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Tomorrow is Skip Bertman's The Celebration of Life for the Skipper over at the Maravich Center. The players are having their gathering beforehand, and then the doors at the PMAC open to the public at 6 p.m. with the celebration starting at 7. So really hope that it's a wonderful turnout to honor one of the greatest lives and legacies that has ever touched the LSU community. So looking forward to tomorrow evening over at the Maravich Center to honor Skip. And we'll have some guests on earlier in the day, of course, to set the table for that. And also we'll have the latest on the R.J. Lewis situation. As I understand, just within the last 20 minutes, he's still in court trying to get his injunction. When we have a result there, we'll certainly pass it along. Muse Pauly, thanks y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
So I was sitting in my office earlier today, and the window behind me, it looked like it was nighttime. It was that dark. Awful weather came through parts of South Louisiana today. If you felt the effects of that weather at your home or your office, we would love to help you out with a free, no-obligation roofing inspection at Parish Construction Roofing. Also, this weekend, there was horrible hail. Friday into Saturday, uptown New Orleans. No matter where you are, we'd love to help you with a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. We always say it. Do business with someone you know. And now you know Drew Brees as well. If you don't know me or Terry or Tilly or Joe or any of our staff, you know Drew Brees. He's one of our partners. Now, of course, we were thrilled to get that deal across the finish line with Pro Football Hall of Famer, Saints legend Drew Brees, who is not just a paid endorser. He is one of our partners at Parish Construction Roofing. So do business with Drew Brees' company. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.